Hey, what's up? It's Jared, and today we're going to unbox and do an initial setup on the DJI Phantom 4. Now, I'm pretty excited about this because after seeing the video, the promo video that DJI put out, and then just watching some other folks who have gotten kind of early editions use them, I'm pretty excited about how kind of hands-off this type of drone is. So we're going to open it up and take a look at everything that is inside and set it up really quick and just kind of see how quickly that process goes. I went ahead and I purchased mine from an Apple store. Apple got early access to selling these, so you can't really buy them anywhere else at the moment, but you could buy them at an Apple store. So I bought the Phantom 4, an extra battery. I'd been needing a smaller, shorter lightning cable, lightning to USB, and then a set of props. So battery and props, not too exciting, but we will need our little lightning cable, our additional lightning cable, if we're going to connect it to an iPad or an Apple device. My experiences with the DJI products is that if you ordered, or if you were an Android user, you would you'd have a cable in there already. So let's go ahead and pull this out of the box. Kind of similar experience to my experiences when I opened up my Inspire 1 Pro. Comes in a nice case. Here it's got kind of a latch that we can open up like so, and it's got kind of a sticky deal here. So we just unlatch this and turn it, and it unlatches. And here we go. So the casing and everything, I've just really liked the way that DJI packages all their stuff and ships it. And then the containers that you get just natively are just pretty cool. So props are in here. We've got the unit itself here. Here's the RC, the radio control. So we'll go ahead and pull off all of the little stickers and whatnot. This is fairly standard radio control for DJI. Most of their more recent drones come with this style of RC, such as the Inspire 1 Pro. The only difference, I think, between this RC and the Inspire 1 Pro is the fact that the Inspire 1 Pro has a couple of additional ports down here for HDMI out. You have to purchase that add-on for the Phantom 4. So I think it's $100. You purchase that add-on, and then you're able to get like an HDMI out feed. You don't have to purchase that though, because you can actually use this unit. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off. This is a smart mode switch, and it comes with a little sticker over it to let you know that you should probably start out in smart mode, which I actually did start out in smart mode on my Inspire 1 Pro, because the last thing I wanted to do was have an issue right off the bat. So here's the charger. I'm going to go ahead and just plug this in just in case, because other DJI products I've received have came with a completely depleted battery with no charge in it. So if that is the case, I'll be able to jump right on, put it on the charger for a couple of minutes, and then we can come back and do the initial setup. So go ahead and get this off of here. Lots of plastic wrapping always. A little rubber band around that. So if it doesn't seem like it wants to tear, it's because there's a rubber band around it. That, of course, is why I have the knife. All right, so this allows you to charge both the battery and the RC. The instructions that I read with the Inspire said not to charge both at the same time, choose one or the other. So I would assume that that's probably the same advice that they would give here, is to choose one or the other when you are deciding to charge. So it comes with this kind of, bracket on here that's gonna hold the gimbal in place and keep the gimbal from flopping around. This is something that you'll want to hang on to because when you are in transit, when you're moving about with this, you're not going to want that gimbal flopping around. You don't want anything to break on that gimbal. There's also a little film here on the front of the camera, so we'll go ahead and remove that. And then, of course, there's kind of warning labels along the sides here. The battery is already inside. They didn't waste any space in the box. There are also little tabs that you pull off of these sensors on the base, and on the front it says remove before flight. Obviously, you're going to want to remove these. These are all of the sensors that keep your Phantom 4 from crashing into a wall. We have our micro SD card pre-installed, and right here we also have a micro USB right here. There's also another little pull tab right on the base of the gimbal, so we'll go ahead and remove that as well and put that off to the side. Okay, so I have my short lightning cable. This is shorter than what typically comes with an iPhone or a iPad, and I like that because otherwise you have a big long dangly cord hanging down, and that was just kind of annoying to me, so I'm glad that I purchased one of these shorter ones. All right, so let's go ahead and make some room for the iPad. We've got an iPad mini here. Go ahead and slide that into position. I'm going to open up the iPad. I'm not going to put the propellers on right now because I don't want to fly it in here or anything like that. I just want to fire it up and show you just kind of how ready to go these are. I mean, I was really impressed with my Inspire 1 Pro and how ready to go it was. All right, so I've selected Phantom 4 from my device list here. I will need to power this up by pressing once and then pressing and holding on the power switch. Looks like it does have a little bit of battery, so it's going to go ahead and kind of go through its initial check, and then the gimbal will snap into place, so you can see the gimbal is now active. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and my device here is set to Phantom 4. I need to power up my RC as well. So same process, tap once and hold, and then tap a second time and hold, and it will power up your RC. You'll be confirmed by a little bit of a beep there. All right, so when it's ready to go, it should go ahead and update here. It's saying inconsistent firmware. It says firmware of some modules, so slide to update. I'm going to go ahead and allow it to go through the firmware update process. This would happen if the app is more up to date than the device itself. And from what I've understood from following along online with some of the updates that are out there, the device has gotten a couple of updates already since they initially announced it. So running those updates would be very important, and in this instance, it kind of forces you to run those updates. So we're going to let it do that really quick. All right, upgrade is successful. It says connect remote control. We've already done that. So I can go ahead and choose camera and activate my Phantom 4. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to give it a name, hit continue. Now it gives me some different modes for setup here. And so I'm going to want to leave it on mode 2 default, which is the default. That's what I left my Inspire 1 Pro on. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that. We also have customizable buttons, C1 and C2. These are these buttons that are underneath the RC down here. We have C1 on your left and C1 on the right. And so that's set to camera forward and down, and then gimbal follow and FPV mode. So I can choose and switch those into different modes so that I can customize those buttons. I then also need to choose my unit of measurement and my video output. And then in beginner mode, we can leave it in beginner mode or switch off beginner mode. And then it wants me to confirm my account and activate. It will then connect to the server, and it will go ahead and activate my DJI Phantom 4, which it has done that. It says it is successful. Update firmware to the latest version before flying. So it's going to go ahead and download that. we'll go ahead and tap on update, download, and it's going to download the firmware update. I believe the firmware we're downloading now is for the Phantom 4 itself. The firmware that we probably just upgraded a minute ago is for the RC, the remote control itself. So we're going to go ahead and go through this process. It's going to take a little bit longer, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut to the end of that. So we'll be right back. All right, so it did finish downloading. Now it says connect aircraft. So what we're going to need to do is connect the aircraft directly to the iPad. And so I'm going to unplug from the RC, unplug from the back of the RC. I'm going to grab this little adapter that came with the device. And so what that goes on is the end of your USB cable, like so. So you just make sure that you're getting that plugged in the right way. And then you will take it and plug it in to that USB port on the side of your device, on the side of your Phantom 4. So we'll go ahead and plug that in. And it should take a second here. It says start upgrade. So we'll go ahead and start the upgrade. It says do not power off your equipment or exit the app. So it's going to go ahead and do that. And now going through the upgrade process. So once again, we'll come back as soon as that upgrade's done. All right, so that took about 10 minutes. Now it says upgrade successful. Connect remote controller to use aircraft. So I'll go ahead and remove the plug, this little adapter, and go ahead and put that back in the box and reconnect the RC to the iPad. Now, keep in mind that this does work with Android devices as well. I have a Samsung tablet, small tablet that I've used with my Inspire 1 Pro. This also works with your iPhone or your Android phone. All right, so now I can go ahead and click connect. It wants me to go through a tutorial. I'll just click skip on the tutorial. And it's going to go ahead and connect me, and now I can actually see my camera preview here. So I have a low battery. I'm not going to attempt to try and fly it quite yet. I have the other battery on the charger now, and while I was waiting for the upgrade, I did go ahead and remove the plastic from the propellers, and so I have all of that stuff ready. So one of the things that I need to do now is actually get a battery in it that has enough charge. I need to go outside and calibrate the compass, and then I'm ready to give it a test fly. So I'm going to go ahead and pause now. We're going to wait for a battery to charge a little bit more, and then we're going to go outside, do a quick test flight, and then that'll be the end of the video. So we'll see you back here in a second. So real quick, one thing that as soon as I had everything connected is that there was an RC, another software update for the RC, the radio control. And so I wanted to go ahead and do that because there was a software update here, and I wanted to make sure the software update was complete here. And so that beeping process is normal. That's the process, and I just completed the RC upgrade. And so now I'm ready to go. I'm actually safe to fly. I can go ahead and put my propellers on and head outside and do this. So I'm going to go ahead and power the device down by pressing in and then pressing once again, and it will power down the unit. I'm going to do the same thing over here. So you press once and then hold it down for a second, and it goes ahead and powers down. Now, these propellers have either a black ring around them or a silver ring around them. They're very noticeable, black or silver. And the motors on the very top here have 3 dots. So you either have the 3 dots on the top of the motor quick release, or you have no dots at all. Now, no dots at all is for the silver propeller. 3 dots is for the black propeller. And installing these propellers is as simple as pushing down and rotating to lock. So now they're locked. And you'll see on the propeller itself, it tells you what direction to go. So we're going to go ahead and push this down and rotate. So one propeller does lock one way and another propeller locks another way. So the black propellers counterclockwise to lock them, and the silver propellers are clockwise to lock them. Very cool, this new process. It takes no time to install these propellers, just like on the DJI Inspire 1 Pro that I have. So now that we're good to go, let's go outside and just do a quick initial test flight.